let's start rock, paper, scissors. Okay, so how do you start a game? Now, let's do like start an in-depth game here. The first thing you would typically do is ask someone if they want to play, right? You don't want to necessarily force the game on someone. So, we want to give them a choice here. We could just call it the game, and we could say input, do you want to play rock, paper, scissors, right? Being polite here. Okay, and now they could say anything. And when you're sort of like at this level gathering strings, you might just want to give them like, Y or N. You know what I mean? Like give them a choice. So it's simply like, I think what I'm going to, Y or N. Okay. And so what might they say? Well, they could say yes or no. Now, the point is you want to set up the game if they play yes. And a game can exist entirely inside of a while loop. So let's say while game equivalent to Y. And then everything inside of here is going to be the game. Okay, so if they say no, it doesn't run. Okay, so that's sort of the first piece. Is an entire game can be a while loop, because at the end, and I'll put in some code here, like play game here. At the very end, okay, when we're still inside of the while loop, you want to give the user the option to play again. And so we can call this the game again and set it equal to, again, input. And we'll do something similar. Do you want to play again, right? And once again, we'll give them the Y or N option. And then, I think it can be good too to like, I think you can set this to sort of game.lower, make sure that like that way if they're giving an uppercase, like an uppercase Y, it would still work, right? It's a string, okay, that they've inputted, and as long as it's an uppercase or lowercase y now, the game will play. So that's sort of the outline of how you get any game really set up to play again and again. And the other thing when you're sort of working on a lot of code, it's worth checking to see, does this chunk of code work as expected? So let's try it, okay? And maybe we'll even print out something for the fun of it. Game was played. Okay, we'll add some code for the game. But let's see does our game strategy work here. Okay, so once Colab gets rolling, it says, do you want to play rock, paper, scissors, Y or N? Of course, we want to play. And we say game was played. Do you want to play again? Sure. And press return. Game was played. Right, we're inside of the while loop. So this is kind of cool because this is the point of the while loop is, hey, as long as the person wants to play, you let them keep playing. What if I finally say, no, I don't want to play? Breaks out of the loop. Okay? Very nice use of a while loop. Now let's just get a little bit of the game in here. So how would we actually set this up? Well, we're going to import NumPy, and we're going to give a choice. And so the choices are rock, paper, scissors. We'll just use R, rock, paper, scissors. Okay. And we want the computer to pick, right? So that is np.random. It's actually .choice, isn't it? Yeah, .choice. I'm going to change. I don't want to use choice twice. And so let's call this the options instead. These are the options. And we want to choose between the options. And this is basically the computer choice, right? And so once we're in here, and I guess we could put this inside of the game because we don't need to run this code really if the person doesn't want to play. So I'm going to move this in. Maybe. Sometimes you put your imports at the top, but we'll just leave the imports together for now. So this is a part of our game, right? Make sure it's tabbed, so it's inside of the while loop. And then make sure everything that's in here is tabbed, right? Everything has to be tabbed here because everything is inside of the while loop. Now the computer has a choice, and then you get a choice, right? Okay, so let's give now the user a chance to choose. And let's just call this user choice. And we're going to do another input. And then, so you got to ask prompt, right? Choose R for rock, S for scissors, P for paper. Okay, that seems pretty clear. Now we've got a user choice and a computer choice, and then we have to figure out who wins. Okay, when you're doing games like this, right, you want to reveal the computer choice. It shouldn't be a mystery, right? When you play the game, you see what somebody has. So let's just, after the user choice, let's print out I chose, and what did they choose? Well, it's the computer choice. So let's use an F string, and we put in the computer choice here. And then, okay, now we see what both people have chosen. And let's hold off on who wins for now. I think that part of it is a little complicated, right? That's sort of the more challenging part to code. But let's go ahead and check this game part. Does the game part work if the person wants to play? And we don't need now this extra game was played because we're actually playing it. Okay, it's not telling us who wins, but it gives us just about everything else. So press Shift Enter. Do you want to play? Let's say yes. Okay, choose R for rock, S for scissors, or P for paper. I'll choose P. Press return. I chose R. And now I know, because I know how to play the game, that paper beats rock, so I won. Okay, but we have to code that up. Let's just try it again. Play again. This time I will choose R for rock. So they chose paper, so they won this time. One more time, let's break the tie. I will go with paper again, and they chose paper, so it's a tie. Okay, and now to break out of the game, I'll say, no, I don't want to play. So how do you determine who wins? Okay, this is a lot of code. There's probably a numerical way. Like I would challenge you to sort of come up with a numerical solution that, might make this smoother. But certainly like one way to do it would be to, I'm kind of tempted to just go with a numerical solution here. But let's just, do it like a normal way and say, okay, we've got different options. And we want to start with like, and so maybe this is now the who wins part. And this is sort of a nice way to kind of divide out a game, as you can label with code. So this is choosing RPS, or rock, paper, scissors. And now we figure out who wins. And I'm only going to do a little bit of it. So let's just go through one scenario. And so let's look at this in terms of the, let's do it in terms of the user choice, because that's easier to check. So let's say if user choice is equivalent to paper, now what? Okay, well, we've got to check what the computer choices are, right? So if computer choice is equivalent to, and we pick one, let's say paper, right? What do? We can print out, it's a tie. It's a tie. Now we can do an elif. Okay, so these are all inside of the one choice. Elif, computer choice. What else might it choose? Rock. In this case, got my colon, press return. We print. So who wins here? The user, you win. And the final choice, in all other cases, there's only one other option. It's computers, scissors, the computer wins. So in that case, the computer's talking. The computer could say, I win. So that codes up one segment of the game. The other segments could be coded similarly. But let's go ahead and verify that this one segment works. We're going to just choose paper. Okay, so here we go. Playing rock, paper, scissors. It's kind of satisfying to play this on a computer. More challenging, I think, against a person. All right, let's play. And now we're going to choose intentionally paper to see if it works. Okay, I chose R, you win, yay, right? Good, it did it. So let's keep going. Let's choose paper again. I chose P. You could say I chose P2. Oh, no. It's a tie. You can't say I chose P. I mean, you could, but it would be a lot to code to just look for the case when they're the same. Okay, let's play again. It seems to be working well. And do note that we haven't, I chose R, U, N. Do note that we have not written code for anything but paper here. I want to verify that the scissors part works. Although, you know, who knows how long this will take. Oh, we can stop there. I chose P for play again instead of yes. And so it breaks out because I chose the wrong thing. So it seems to be working well. So I'm going to stop here. You should be able to code the rest of this on your own. Finish out rock, paper, scissors. Fun kind of way that you can play against the computer.